welcome back to Baking with Josh and Ange.
Hey you guys! So, we are going to be talking a little bit about Kansas today.
Just what you've been waiting for.
Yay, Kansas! Because we went to visit your family.
We did. We went to the Sunflower State to visit my family. We did a lot of fun things in Kansas.
This whole trip was great. It was super family time. We played cards, we had big dinners.
Sorry. We have it away until they want.
We have a My mom and sister figured out they were only 5 hours away in Texas. So they loaded up the car and they drove to Kansas.
That was awesome. So, you know, a little bit of Texas,
a little bit.
It's a little Wichita, Kansas.
My mom did like text me and say, I'm gonna bring a brisket. Is that all right? I'm like, I guess. And she was like, and a hash brown casserole. I was like, okay. And then I talked to Josh's stepmom. She's like, well, we have a ton of food, but guess what? When Texas shows up, they bring brisket.
They bring food. And
they bring food.
That brisket got eaten. We did a lot of fun things in Kansas, but one of the highlights was visiting my Grandma Snyder.
Yes, and she showed us how to make her homemade mints, and they are so good. And that's what we're doing today on
Baking with Josh and Ange.
Da-da-da!
Now these cream cheese mints have a long history in our family. I've made these mints with Grandma Snyder since
you were tiny.
Since I was tiny, like 3 or 4. We made them for her church events, for my grandpa's work events, pretty much for any event.
And it was really special for us to be there together with our kids and get to make them. And your sister was there.
Yeah, my sister was there, so my niece and nephew were there as well. And just seeing the kids gathered around the same table that I gathered around when I was their age. There's so many memories, so many memories.
It was great, and we made these adorable mints, and they're so good, and the kids got really into it.
Oh yeah, I remember being the same way when I was a kid, like just really kind of getting those molds, trying to get them perfect for Grandma Snyder. They got a little taste of what my childhood was like. It was cool.
Yeah. And I ate the dough. Grandma Snyder let me eat dough.
She said I could eat a little bit of it.
Yes. So this was a really fun family activity, and it's great for spring too.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's great for the kids. The kids love it. The cool thing about these mints too is that you can make them any type of color. You can actually do different flavoring too. We use peppermint in these mints, but you can actually use like an almond flavor, vanilla flavor too. It doesn't really matter. They are super easy to make. So that's what we're going to show you today on Baking with Josh and Ange.
Yeah.
So Grandma Snyder, as we were leaving, gave me a little baggie with some of the molds and the recipe.
But you can get these molds at Michael's.
Yeah,
is that right?
yeah. You can. It's just like any type of candy molds that are like silicone or rubber. And like I said before, this is a great recipe that you can do with the whole family. Okay, to make these mints, you're going to need a 2-pound bag of powdered sugar, 8 ounces of cream cheese, and a ½ teaspoon of peppermint extract. So add the cream cheese to the bowl and mix it up until it's really creamy. Then add the peppermint extract and continue to mix. Slowly add a few spoonfuls of the powdered sugar and mix that completely before adding more. Now to make these mints, I use the hand mixer, which makes it easier for everyone to see. But if I was making these mints by myself without the camera on, I would use a stand mixer just because it's cleaner. So once you add the remaining powdered sugar, make sure and incorporate that really well. And then you want to divide the mint dough into how many different colors you want. I only needed 3 colors. I needed white, yellow, and green. But if you're making more colors, just divide it equally based on how many colors you have. When I make the mints, I prefer a gel food coloring. I feel like it's really easy to work with. Also, as you can see, I use these kitchen gloves so the food coloring doesn't stain on my hands. So you just want to continue to knead the mint dough until you get the color you want. So after you're done kneading the mint dough, cover it and put it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. This way the dough will be nice and firm when you're ready to work with it. Okay, so now it's time to make the mints. So the only thing you really need to make the mints is some plain sugar. You want to make sure that you're really generous with the sugar. When you have the little ball that you're making the mint out of, make sure it's really coated in sugar, and also make sure the silicone mold or the rubber mold that you have has a lot of sugar in it so it doesn't stick. That way the mint will pop out easily. Oh, that's a nice looking leaf, and you can kind of fix it a bit if it gets a little dented. If you don't put enough sugar in the mint mold, then it will stick and it's really annoying to try to get out. And next we're going to make the daisies. So same thing, you want to make sure the mold is really covered in sugar and the mint ball you're using is really covered in sugar so they won't stick to the mint mold and they come out nicely. Okay, so you can just stop there if you want. The mints look great on their own. I just went a little bit further. I took some corn syrup and some black nonpareils And I just painted a little bit of corn syrup in the middle of the daisies and then sprinkled some nonpareils. And that gave the flower some depth and made it look a little cooler, I think. And in the end, you have a nice bouquet of mint daisies. All right, so there you go, Grandma Snyder's cream cheese mint.
So, you guys, major score for me, because you know all I want to do is see photos of him from junior high. Grandma Snyder, like a good grandma, saves everything.
Oh my gosh.
And she brought out letters, like awards that he won, a picture he drew. Oh, look who was in Oklahoma.
Can't you feel my heart palpitating and a bumping, waiting for something that's new?
We know that.
Yep.
This is just full of photos. Let's just see what's the first one we pull out here. Oh, hi. Who's that cutie? What do you call that haircut?
I don't really know. It's
The
a bowl.
Is
It's
it
a bowl.
The bowl
It looks like a
haircut?
cream.
Oh my God.
6th grade, that's with the laser lights. We had that option.
Do you want the laser lights with the moon in the background? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
And I'm gonna feather my hair. So thank you, Grandma Snyder, because all of this is delightful.
So here's a little fun fact about my grandma and grandpa Snyder. They are Dr. Mario masters. Now, if you don't know what Dr. Mario is, it's an old time, like the first Nintendo that came out. It's an old Nintendo game. They have played this game for close to 20 years.
They had to get a new television because the images of the game had burned in to the screen.
And they still play it every day.
So much so that your sister was telling me one year they gave up Dr. Mario for Lent. The boys were kind of getting cocky. They're like, we're getting pretty good at Dr. Mario. And then Josh was like, Grandma Snyder, do you want to play him?
She comes in, she's
like, okay. Because she took the little remote and she's not even looking at it. She's like, it was like when Forrest Gump had that ping pong scene where he's like, ticka, 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 ticka.
I'm gonna write Grandma on this.
And she schooled them.
She spanked
She
him.
wrecked them.
Wham!
Where?
She's too good.
And Isabel even stopped playing dolls. Everyone just like
Yeah, we
gathered
kind of
around.
like
Was
huddled around. We're like, oh my gosh.
She was just like, I just loved the multi-generational moment where the Jack and Kate, the boys in Cannon, were like, whoa, Grandma Snyder.
Grandma got skills.
Yeah. And thank you to everyone in Kansas and all our family, Gwen and Bruce and Jackie and Ginger, all the cousins and Josie and my mom and my sister, Billy.
It was a great trip.
It was a great trip. Bye.
All right, bye guys.
See you next week.